we start this feeder heifer show, I think the one that comes to the top in this particular class is Smoky Heifer. I think it does so pretty handily for me. I think this one, when you view her from the side, is where you really appreciate this one. From flank to flank, she's maybe the longest fronted heifer in the ring. I really appreciate her side profile. When you analyze her from the ground up, you like how much hoof she has, you like how much bone she has, and maybe most importantly, when you get directly behind her, I think that one just blends just a little bit nicer from behind her shoulders on into her hip than the two that follow her. This one that comes next, I like a lot of pieces about this heifer. Yeah, I'm sure she's maybe not as long fronted as the Smoky heifer, maybe gets up just a little bit higher in her tailhead. But I guess maybe more importantly, she seems to want to pinch just a little bit right behind her shoulders, getting a little bit weak in her top right behind her shoulders. If you like them big-butted and just powerful, you're going to like this one. I guess for me, when I get behind this one, I sure appreciate how thick she is, how wide she is in her hip and in her pin set. Where I'd like to change her is right behind her shoulders. I just think this one needs to blow apart a little bit right in her heart girth and just be a little bit smoother from that transition from her shoulder into her rib cage. If that one fills in right there, for as stout as she is, that one's relatively sound. There's a lot of pieces you like. I think the next 30 days is where that one comes together. This heifer coming next. This heifer is maybe not quite as sound as the heifer that just left the ring. I think she wants to snap those pastures just a little bit. You'd like to maybe square her up from hooks to pins, but a heifer you sure like from flank to flank. Looks like it's going to be an easy feeder. This heifer here coming next, there's some pieces you like about that one. That's probably the longest spine, longest hip heifer of the class. I do like that about her. I guess for me today, wondering as we look into the crystal ball where her end point is. That one looks like that one's going to get plenty big. I guess for me today, I maybe would have showed this one as a breeding heifer rather than as a feeder calf. I just like that one just a little bit better. She sure is angular about her head, neck, and shoulder. You maybe just like her as a breeding piece rather than a feeder heifer. The young man that concludes the class, he's got himself a nice heifer. He just kind of gets overpowered in this class. He's the lightest heifer of the class, but has some pieces you like. I like that one's front end. I think that one's really long and extended. Maybe gets just a little bit straight from its shoulder on down into its knee, but a real nice project for that young man. Let's give him and the rest of the class a big round of applause.
Now entering the ring is class 2.
You don't. No, you don't. Oh.
This is your second call for class 3. Your results from class 1. First goes to Christian Cummings, bred by Cummings Cattle. Second, Jocelyn Rocky, bred by Rocky Family Cattle. Third, Wyatt Osborne. Fourth, Braden Burkhardt. Fifth, Jocelyn Rocky. And sixth, Easton Dewey. Our judge today is Tim Schwab. He is a 1987 graduate of OSU ATI, where he has on the judging team. He is the current farm manager of Cobb Land and Livestock in Batesville, Indiana. They have about 200 cows and back around about 500 steers per year. They have a club calf sales and bred heifer and cow sale every year. Through these sales, they have had champion steer and heifer honors at the North American, American Royal, National Western, Ohio AGR and AGS shows, Hoosier Beef Congress, North Carolina State Fair, Wyoming State Fair, California State Fair, and many local county fairs. He is also proud of breeding and racing the AI promotional sire Hi-Ho Silver. He was a featured farm family at the 2018 Indiana State Fair. Tim was the president of the Indiana Beef Cattle Association in 2017 and has held several leadership positions in the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Nice class from top to bottom, and there's some decisions in this class, and maybe it's not as cut and dry as that first class, but I think the heifer we end up with probably wins so pretty handily, in my opinion. Balances up really nice, really square made kind of heifer. When she first walks in, you're like, when you view her from the side, I don't know if that one's going to have enough to her. But when you get behind her, you're pretty well impressed with the amount of hip that she has, how she carries it down into her stifle. There's a lot of things you got to like about that one. I'll be the first to admit, she's not the biggest boned one, maybe not the stoutest made one out here, but a heifer that sure puts it together awfully, awfully nice. My congratulations to that young man. Young lady coming next, I think you logically fall second. You know, you probably are just, you don't have as much muscle as that one in first, but I think you balance up so much better than this one in third. I really appreciate how your heifer balances up. Appreciate the length of front that she has. Would you like to see her just be a little bit thicker throughout? Yeah, I probably would. Maybe just make her a little bit wider in her insets. This is the other heifer that if you like them wide, you're probably going to like that one. That one is just packed full of meat and muscle. When she first walked in, I thought maybe she would end up on the top of this class, and then the more you get to analyzing that one, you'd like to change pieces and parts about her. You'd like to stretch her out in that front end, maybe just make her just a little bit sounder. Sometimes on this left rear leg, she's not sure about how she wants to set that thing down. She kind of rolls it and snaps it. But a heifer that when you analyze that one just as far as a meat animal and a feeder heifer, you sure appreciate the amount of top and quarter that that one has. Really packs it together. Just needs to be a little bit prettier for me. This young man's got the prettier heifer. I guess where I'd like to change this one, I just like to give her just a little bit more depth of body, give her maybe just a little more of an easy beaten look. Maybe she's getting just a little too breedy for me today. I don't know if she's quite thick enough to be a feeder heifer. Maybe like for her to carry that thickness down into her twist just a little bit more. This young man that concludes the class, his heifer is a little bit thicker than that one that just left the ring. I guess this one right here gets just a little plainer for me up in her front 1/3. You'd like to clean her up in her underline, maybe clean up that navel just a little bit, but that young man's done a nice job today. Let's give him and the rest of the class a big round of applause.
Now entering the ring is Class 3, Madison Houkie, Juarez, Easton Dubey, Addison Howkey, Peyton Giordano, and Bryson Stevens.
Welcome to Jerry Haig Motors in Hillsboro, your local Chevrolet dealer for over 50 years. I am Steve Haig, owner, along with my twin daughters, Mindy and Mandy. We operate our family-owned business. We take care of our customers like friends and family. If you need a new Chevrolet or pre-owned vehicle, service, parts, or body shop, think of Jerry Haig Motors in Hillsboro. Proudly supporting the youth of our community. Stop in today for a great deal. Trade-ins welcome, financing available to qualified buyers.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Our beliefs matter. They're reflected in our words and actions. At First State Bank, we believe in treating people well, and have since 1884. Listening, caring, looking out for each other. It's what people deserve. It's what a real local bank does. While lots of things have changed over the years, our belief in you hasn't. First State Bank, built on belief.
Class 4, we need Gabriel Michael to the holding area. Your results from Class 2, first went to Ashton Simpson, read by Kirk Forsyth. Second went to Oakley Eagle, read by Tim Perry Show Cattle. Third, Delana Collins. Fourth, Mason Brawl. And fifth, Bryson Stevens. This is your first call for Class 5, Hadley Howkey Simmons, Maya Pitts, Warkis, Cole Marsh, and Cameron Burkhardt.
give that young man a big round of applause. He brought us a nice steer to start the steer division here. Good job to him. He's kind of had a rough day. I'm sure he likes this one better than his big fat steer with the ring in his nose. But this little calf's got a lot going on here. I think this one right here could be awfully good come next year this time. You talk about one that balances up awful nice. You really appreciate his design. I don't mind his wild color, you know, it just kind of attracts you to him. But when you really get to looking at that calf, he's long about his front. He's really sound at the ground. He's got enough top and enough butt for as light as he is. That one right there, I think he's got a really bright future. My congratulations to that young man on bringing us a nice steer to start the show. Yeah, you bet. Gets a little closer here, second on down to about fourth, and I guess I just chose this steer to put second. I think he balances up maybe the next best. I really appreciate him from the ground up. I think he's a really sound kind of steer. I think he's really flat in his shoulder. He's really square from hooks to pins. Does he give you that wow factor that one that led the class? Probably not, but when you get behind that calf, he's got a lot of top. He's got a bright future about him. My congratulations to him. This young man, this kind of calf is maybe the problem with the class. I've had this calf anywhere from about third to fourth or maybe even fifth. Sometimes you look at that calf, and especially when you get behind him, you just kind of wish he was more massive. When you get directly behind him and view him from the rear, you wish his pin set was a little bit wider. But a calf, when you view him from the side, he's sure got a lot that you gotta like. He's really deep from flank to flank. He's really long enough fronted. I guess maybe for me, he's just a nickel sounder than the smoky calf that comes next. The smoky calf every once in a while will snap those pasterns, maybe bad enough for me. Is he the stoutest bone one of the class? No, but you sure appreciate him from flank to flank. His depth of body, his easy feet and look that he gives you. I think that one's got a good future in front of him if he stays sound enough. The next young lady's coming next. I like this calf from the side maybe, but I guess for me today, I just question his endpoint next year. I said, when you get to analyzing him and his cannon bone and how long he is in his cannon bone, how tall is that one going to get? I just like to calm him down in his frame just a little bit. The next 30 or 60 days will prove if that one slows up or just keeps growing up. But if that one slows up, I think that one could be real nice come next year here at your county fair. The young man comes that concludes the class. This one right here breaks a little bit in this top. Maybe it's just hard to get a good look at him because he really doesn't want to be out here. But that young man's done a nice job dragging that one around. He did a good job in showmanship earlier today. Let's give him and the rest of the class a big round of applause.
Now entering the ring is Class 4, Cameron Burkhardt, Gabriel Michael, Christian Cummings, Logan Cordry, Savannah Smith, and Austin Sexton.
ProGen's next-generation technology flooring is designed to stand up to the demands of modern life, and it's available now at the Winchester Carpet Outlet. Because ProGen is durable, waterproof, dimensionally stable, and easy to install, it can be used in any room, including rooms that are most prone to moisture and spills, like kitchens and baths. For top-quality flooring, service, and selection at prices that'll floor you, visit the Winchester Carpet Outlet, just off State Route 32 on Tri-County Road, just a few miles west of Winchester, Ohio, and online at winchestercarpetoutlet.com.
What's one of our shows that our listeners love the most?
Yeah, I got a couple things here to sell today.
That's right. It's the Trash and Treasure Trading Post on C103, weekdays starting at 12:30 p.m.
Oh, yes, I'm a private collector.
Get your items on the air by calling 937-544-9722. You can also try out the mailbag items. It's $2 a day, $5 for 3 days. Mail your listings to P.O. Box 103, West Union, Ohio, 45693.
Got a lot of other miscellaneous, too.
And we'll help you turn your trash into treasure.
Real estate is and always will be local business. Local agents know your local market. We know what local homes are selling for. We know the landscape. We live here. We work here. We know here. Max sells real estate.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for coming out to the cattle show this evening. My name is Alexis West, and I am your Cox, and 2024 Highland County Queen Attendant. The first call for Class 6, Mason Warnock, Peyton Houke, Braden Burkhardt, Mayan Pitts, Austin Borer, and Ashton May. With us today, we have our fair photographer, Haley Ann Photography. All the photos taken this week will be available for free download on our website at haleyannphotography.shoeproof.com. Thanks to First State Bank, Jerry Hague Motors, and Farm Credit Mid-America for sponsoring the photos and making this possible for all exhibitors at the fair this year. Let's give them a round of applause.
Two nice steers on the top end of this class, and this black and white steer that I'm going to choose to win this class, in my opinion, does so pretty handily. I think it doesn't matter if you're viewing this one from the side or if you're viewing him from the rear. He's got a lot to offer. He's got a big old top about him. He walks around the ring off plenty of foot, plenty of bone. I really appreciate him from the side. I think he's just a nickel better from flank to flank when we compare him to that shorthorn calf, and I think he carries it down lower into his stifle and into his twist, maybe just a little bit better than that shorthorn appearing calf. He maybe needs to grow just a little bit, and 30 days or 60 days, if that one's growing up just a little bit, that one's an awful good one come next year sometime. This shorthorn appearing steer is awful nice in his own right, and I think he makes a really nice shorthorn steer. You appreciate how level he is about his top, how level he is from hooks to pins, and as we compare him to that balding calf that just left the ring, you want to make this one just a little bit stouter in its lower stifle, make him carry it down into his twist, maybe just a little bit better to compete with that balding calf, but a nice pair on the top of this class. The next couple get a little closer for me. I guess for me, I just chose to use this white-footed calf in third just because I think he balances up awful nice. You really appreciate how he is about his shoulder, how he comes out of that shoulder and gets wider the further back he gets. Gets wider the further back he gets. You sure appreciate him in his pin set and how wide he is. This balding calf is pretty interesting to me, I guess. I'd like to maybe just cut him off at his neck there. I really like him from his shoulders on back. That one there is really sound made. You really appreciate his ruggedness. Sure, he doesn't have much hair, but that looks really sound in the ground. You got plenty of bone. He just isn't as clean fronted. It isn't as cool when you view him from the side. You clean that one up in his chest and in his throat latch, that one moves on up the line a bunch. I think that makes a nice fat steer for you, but maybe not a great prospect steer. This little gray calf, I maybe had him up above that baldy to begin with, and then I moved him down a spot or two in my head. There's some things you like about him. I appreciate his moderation of frame. I appreciate how he is from flank to flank. He appears to be a real easy beaten calf. When you watch this one walk away from you, that's where his problem is. He has a tendency to throw those back legs. just want him to stay together just a little bit better on his skeleton. The longer he stands on the side profile, he likes to break in that top just a little bit right behind his shoulders. Young man there with the star-headed steer that concludes the class is a nice steer in his own right. Maybe one of the longer spine, longer hip kind of calves. Just a calf that needs to slow down. He just looks like he's going to make a big old tall steer when you analyze him in his cannon bone. If he calms down in the spring here in the next 60 days, that one can go on and make a nice back. My congratulations to that young man. Let's give him and the rest of the class a big round of applause.
They're on heat 1 and heat 3 of 4, so we got Austin in, so now we go to watch him hopefully.
Now entering the ring is Class 5. Hadley Howkey Simmons, Maya Pitts, Owen Warkins, Cole Marsh, and Cameron Burkhardt.
Ethan Howard at Howard Ag is your local channel seed salesman. At Howard Seed, they use the Climate Field View platform. Climate Field View is an advanced tool for checking the health and performance of every field on your farm. Howard Ag provides you with crop protection, expert marketing information, and trait technology. Contact Ethan Howard at Howard Ag and Channel Seed today, 513-255-3745. That's 513-255-3745. Dealing with a backed up toilet, a slow draining sink, or standing water in your shower? Let the experts at Zoom Drain handle all your drain and sewer needs. Their team of highly trained specialists have all the equipment to get your wastewater lines flowing their best, whether it's an emergency or planned maintenance. Don't let a clogged drain or sewer ruin your day. Give Alex with Zoom Drain a call at 513-301-2815 to schedule your service today. Southern Ohio Retro Foam installs open and closed cell foam insulation for existing and new construction homes, pole barns, and more. Retro Foam injected foam wall insulation will save you money on your energy bills, decrease noise, and add comfort by sealing even the smallest of openings in your walls, crawl space, or attic, whether you have metal, masonry, or frame construction. Southern Ohio Retro Foam is locally owned and operated and is located in Hillsboro, Ohio. Call Wes at 937-402-0536 to request a free quote. Visit southernohioretrofoam.com for more information.
We got two real nice steers on the top end of this class, and I really like quite a few things about this quality calf, and maybe his best view, in my opinion, is directly behind him. I think he's relatively smooth in that shoulder, ties in really good right behind it, and he just explodes into a huge top, huge hip, huge pin set, and that's where he's beating this calf in second. I just think he's just a little wider hip. I think he's a little wider pin set. When you analyze him from the ground up, I sure do appreciate his foot size. I appreciate the extra bone that he gives you. Is either one of them maybe the soundest calf out here? I don't know. This balding calf, every once in a while, you sure like going to set those rear feet down, maybe just a nipple softer. You'd like to give him just a little more cushion in that pasturing. And this calf's kind of a little bit the same way. Every once in a while, he'll get to snap in that left rear just quite a bit. But a calf that you really like him for his easy feeding ability that he gives you. You really appreciate his rib shape. You appreciate how deep-bodied he is. You'd maybe like to change him just a nickel in that chest and throat latch to compete with that really tight neck balding that already left the class. But two really nice steers on the top end of this class. My congratulations to both those exhibitors. This calf coming next is a nice calf in its own right. You like a lot of things about him, about his head and neck design. That one sure is an up-headed calf. Sure is attractive from the head on. And he's really sound about his feet movement. Is he as stout as those calves in left? Probably not. And there's another one that's getting plenty of air underneath him, if you will, for me. The red steer that comes next. You talk about one that's really easy feeding. This one looks like he's going to be a real easy feeding project. Now he might be done at 1,000 pounds. He's already starting to lay some cover on him. He might be a little bit quick in his maturity pattern when you analyze him through the rest of the class. But a real nice calf that's relatively sound and easy on his feet and legs. Young lady that concludes the class has got a nice calf in its own right. Maybe just needs to be a little stouter bone. Maybe needs to calm down in the frame a little bit. But a calf that's really square about his top, really square from hooks to pins. Let's give her and the rest of the class a big round of applause on the job well done.
Entering the ring is Class 6. Mason Warnock, Peyton Hauke, Braden Burkhardt, Maya Pitts, Austin Borer, and Ashton May. The results from Class 5. First went to Maya Pitts, bred by Hulk Family Farms. Second, Cameron Burkhardt, bred by Cameron Burkhardt. Third, Ellen Warwick. Fourth, Cole Marsh, and fifth, Hadley Hauke Simmons. This is the second call for Class 7, and first call for Class 8, Braden Cummings, Kason Giordano, Sawyer Blair, Haley Cornett, and Payson Collins. during the County Born and Bred Feeder Calf Show, the top 3 exhibitors in each class will be awarded a Weaver's Bred generously donated by the Highland County Cattlemen's Association. We would also like to thank Boer Vet Services for their support in making this donation possible. We appreciate their support in recognizing and celebrating the outstanding efforts of our exhibitors. Our class awards were donated by Haley in Photography and Kim and Haley Allen.
Nice pair of steers on the top end of this class, but I think the young man, I think that one comes to the top pretty handily. And I'm glad I had you walk a second time. When you walked around there the first time, I'm like, man, I'm not sure that one's sound enough, you know. Boy, when you just relax when you went around there that second time, that one is really sound. Puts his feet down good. You really appreciate how soft he is in those rear pastures. The amount of slope he has from the point of his shoulder into his knee and on into the ground. You like all that about him. He's cool fronted. He's got enough thickness to it. That's a pretty nice kind of design steer from the side that gives you that extra solid soundness. My congratulations to you on a real nice class winner. When you first walked in, I thought, well, this is simple. I'm going to use that Baldy because I got a thing for Baldies. You know, I've used 2 or 3 of them already. I like your cat quite a bit. I think he's got enough thickness. I appreciate his moderation of frame. You really appreciate him for his bone work. He's a big bone kind of cat that's really clean about that front. You got to change this one just a little bit. It's from his shoulder to his knee and on into the ground. Just get plenty upright, plenty rigid and straight. I like to give him just a little bit more slope to his shoulder, a little more flex to that front knee. Then that one moves on up to a class winner. This is a nice steer right here, and sometimes I think I might have missed this one just a little bit, but I think he got beat by two powerful steers. I think this one here is long fronted enough. I just like to maybe calm him down a little bit in his frame. Another steer that's really good at the ground on up, just maybe gets a little high in that rear flank for me today when you compare him to those two that have already walked out of here. This shorthorn or main appearing steer, old red white mane kind, or a shorthorn appearing steer. I like this calf a lot. I like how his body design is. It looks like he's going to be an easy feeder. Sure, he's getting some chest to him. He's got a little bit of throat latch when you compare him to those ones that have already left. Maybe more importantly, I'd like to just jack him up just a little bit in his inset, square him up from hooks to pins to compete with those other three. This young lady's got a nice calf in her own right. This one right here, I think when you analyze him in his cannon bone, he's maybe plenty big for me. Gets maybe just a little plainer headed, if you will, and he needs to have just a little bit more slope in that front shoulder. This young man that concludes the class, this here is a good beat calf, and I would tell everybody, young man, that I was sixth today. I wouldn't tell anybody I was last. That's a good calf. Maybe isn't quite perfect in his front end, but a calf that's going to go on and feed, make that young man a nice project. Let's give him and the rest of the class a big round of applause.
Now entering the ring is Class 7. Madison Houke, Landry Teeters, Sydney Shelton, Alexa Cordry, Haley Cornett, Braden Cummings, and Charlie Houke.
Sherwood Auto and Camper Sales in Hillsboro is the area's biggest name in outdoor adventures. Check out their new line of e-bikes and accessories and cruise around in style. And if you need a place to store your new e-bike, Sherwood also offers Amish-made Wheat Ridge barns. 2024 camping trailer models are priced too low to advertise, and 2023 models are clearance priced. Coachman Clipper teardrop campers are priced below cost, with no reasonable offer refused. Find it all and begin your outdoor adventure at Sherwood Auto and Camper Sales in Hillsboro.
Well, come on, and let us show you what we got. Come on, let us help you save a lot. Rips Farm Center is your dependable farming supplier, proudly serving Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia farmers with the finest grains and feeds for your livestock. We also provide the fertilizers and chemicals to enhance your yield, and we're your source for R&R livestock equipment, offering hydraulic chutes, portable corrals, scales, and more. Rips Farm Center, 214 Lions Club Road in Tollsboro, Kentucky. Call 606-798-FARM.
Healthy Halloween Senior Expo at the Highland County Senior Citizen Center is Tuesday, October 1st, with over 50 businesses from Highland, Adams, and surrounding counties providing valuable information and tons of free giveaways. Enjoy a live band, a billiards tournament, and free bingo too. Enter the costume contest. Help the Senior Center's kitchen and bring in the most dish soap and you could win big. Remember, the event is free to attend, but bring some extra cash for lunch and other raffles. Great information for you or a loved one. Sign up for all the free prizes. See you at the expo.
Welcome to Jerry Haig Motors in Hillsboro, your local Chevrolet dealer for over 50 years. I am Steve Haig, owner, along with my twin daughters, Mindy and Mandy. We operate our family-owned business. We take care of our customers like friends and family. If you need a new Chevrolet or pre-owned vehicle, service, parts, or body shop, think of Jerry Haig Motors in Hillsboro. Proudly supporting the youth of our community. Stop in today for a great deal. Trade-ins welcome, financing available to qualified buyers.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Our beliefs matter. They're reflected in our words and actions. At First State Bank, we believe in treating people well and have since 1884. Listening, caring, looking out for each other. It's what people deserve. It's what a real local bank does. While lots of things have changed over the years, our belief in you hasn't. First State Bank, built on belief.
ProGen's next-generation technology flooring is designed to stand up to the demands of modern life, and it's available now at the Winchester Carpet Outlet. Because ProGen is durable, waterproof, dimensionally stable, and easy to install, it can be used in any room, including rooms that are most prone to moisture and spills, like kitchens and baths. For top-quality flooring, service, and selection at prices that'll floor you, visit the Winchester Carpet Outlet, just off State Route 32 on Tri-County Road, just a few miles west of Winchester, Ohio, and online at winchestercarpetoutlet.com.
What's one of our shows that our listeners love the most?
Yeah, I got a couple things here to sell today.
That's right. It's the Trash and Treasure Trading Post on C103 weekdays starting at 12:30 p.m.
Oh, yes, I'm a private collector.
Get your items on the air by calling 937-544-9722. You can also try out the mailbag items. It's $2 a day, $5 for 3 days. Mail your listings to P.O. Box 103, West Union, Ohio 45693.
Got a lot of other miscellaneous too.
And we'll help you turn your trash into treasure.
Real estate is and always will be local business. Local agents know your local market. We know what local homes are selling for. We know the landscape. We live here. We work here. We know here. Max sells real estate.
Ethan Howard at Howard Ag is your local channel seed salesman. At Howard Seed, they use the Climate Field View platform. Climate Field View is an advanced tool for checking the health and performance of every field on your farm. Howard Ag provides you with crop protection, expert marketing information, and trait technology. Contact Ethan Howard at Howard Ag and Channel Seed today, 513-255-3745. That's 513-255-3745.
Dealing with a backed up toilet, a slow draining sink, or standing water in your shower? Let the experts at Zoom Drain handle all your drain and sewer needs. Their team of highly trained specialists have all the equipment to get your wastewater lines flowing their best, whether it's an emergency or planned maintenance. Don't let a clogged drain or sewer ruin your day. Give Alex with Zoom Drain a call at 513-301-2815 to schedule your service today.
really good steers on the top end of this class, and I think there's some give and take, and I think if we could take both these steers, take a little bit out of each one of them, and make one steer, I think we have a really good one. And I told the young lady, I said, man, I'd love to see this steer in 60 days. I think 60 days is going to make a big difference on this steer. We'll talk about him here in just a minute. But the young man here with this bronco-headed steer, he brings us a nice steer, and he is so massive. When you get behind him, he's got so much mouth, so much quarter. You just are overwhelmed with how massive he is, and that's where he's beating that one in second. Is he perfect in his neck and throat latch and in his chest? Maybe not, and that's where you love that one in second. That one is just so sexy from the side. That one's got the eye appeal. He's tight neck. He's long fronted. He breaks a little bit right there behind his shoulders. And as I told the young lady, I said that other one is just so massive that you could fit inside that one. In 60 days, this calf right here is going to give that other one a run for his money, I think. This is a nice calf. I just like to blow him apart a little bit right there in that fore rib, right there behind the shoulders to make him a great one. Maybe pass him up just a little bit when you view him from behind. But that is one sexy calf. This calf coming here in third. This is a nice calf in his own right. And sometimes this calf acts like he's not feeling 100%. He's wanting to drop the ear here on my side quite a bit. I think if this guy was feeling a little better, I think you could kind of move up just to maybe a little bit, if you will. I think that's a good calf in his own right. He's really sound-footed. He's really soft in his pasturing. He's maybe almost coon-footed when you watch him walk. But every once in a while he'll snap, and I think that's because he's not feeling good. I don't think it's a structure problem on this one, but he kind of gets outmasked. He's a little bit greener than those other two, and you'd like to just pass him up just a little bit too. This one right here is maybe the problem of the class. This calf right here, he's as thick and stout as anything in the class, and you really like that about him. Would you like to stretch him out in this front end? I probably would. I think that one just gets a little plainer in that front, maybe a little straighter in that shoulder. But when you get from his shoulders on back, that is one massive steer that looks like a baby back steer, in my opinion. The Baldy steer coming next. I think this one right here has got a nice future to him. I think he's long-fronted. I don't think today's his day. I said it might be another year. I think that one makes a really good back steer down the road. He maybe needs to drop down just a little bit in that rear flank, maybe drop down a little bit in this twist to compete with those ones that have already exited the ring. Young lady coming next has got another one of those really good eye-appealing steers. He's another one that kind of needs to drop down a little bit in this flank. He's a big bone steer. You appreciate that about him, but he's got plenty enough shoulder for him. This Baldy steer is a good feeding kind of steer, and you know, if I went home and I looked at my feedlot and I had a whole feedlot full of those, I'd be very proud. I think this is an easy feeding kind of steer. He's maybe just given up a little bit of eye appeal to compete with those other steers. This young lady's done a nice job all day. Let's give her a big round of applause along with the rest of the class.
Entering the ring is class number 8, Bred Cummings, Kason Giordano, Sawyer Blair, Haley Cornett, and Payson Collins. This is the second call for class 9.
Southern Ohio Retro Foam installs open and closed cell foam insulation for existing and new construction homes, pole barns, and more. Retro Foam injected foam wall insulation will save you money on your energy bills, decrease noise, and add comfort by sealing even the smallest of openings in your walls, crawl space, or attic, whether you have metal, masonry, or frame construction. Southern Ohio Retro Foam is locally owned and operated and is located in Hillsboro, Ohio. Call Wes at 937-402-0536 to request a free quote. Visit SouthernOhioRetroFoam.com for more information.
Sherwood Auto and Camper Sales in Hillsboro is the area's biggest name in outdoor adventures. Check out their new line of e-bikes and accessories and cruise around in style. And if you need a place to store your new e-bike, Sherwood also offers Amish-made Wheat Ridge barns. 2024 camping trailer models are priced too low to advertise, and 2023 models are clearance priced. Coachman Clipper Teardrop campers are priced below cost, with no reasonable offer refused. Find it all and begin your outdoor adventure at Sherwood Auto and Camper Sales in Hillsboro.
Well, come on, and let us show you what we got. Come on, let us help you save a lot. Rips Farm Center is your dependable farming supplier, proudly serving Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia farmers with the finest grains and feeds for your livestock. We also provide the fertilizers and chemicals to enhance your yield, and we're your source for R&R livestock equipment, offering hydraulic chutes, portable corrals, scales, and more. Rips Farm Center, 214 Lions Club Road in Tollsboro, Kentucky. Call 606-798-FARM.
Healthy Halloween Senior Expo at the Highland County Senior Citizen Center is Tuesday, October 1st, with over 50 businesses from Highland, Adams, and surrounding counties providing valuable information and tons of free giveaways. Enjoy a live band, a billiards tournament, and free bingo too. Enter the costume contest. Help the Senior Center's kitchen and bring in the most dish soap and you could win big. Remember, the event is free to attend, but bring some extra cash for lunch and other raffles. Great information for you or a loved one. Sign up for all the free prizes. See you at the expo.
this class, and we talked out here on the ring side just for a minute. Me and the ringman here, my bodyguard, I guess, if you will. That is a good steer down on that end of the class. She said he's a 3/4 semi. That's a good steer for being 5th in class, but he's 5th in class. So I wouldn't tell nobody I was last, because that is a good steer. That steer's got a bright future. We'll talk about him here in a minute. I think these 2 steers that come to the top probably do so pretty handedly for me. We had to kind of maybe take just a little extra time with the black steer for him to kind of get calmed down here in the ring. He's missing a few vital parts maybe as far as eyes and stuff where he can see real well. But that is a good steer in his own right. But let's not take anything away from our class winner, this Smoky steer. I think he just kind of comes in this ring and says, just go ahead and use me. I like a lot of things about this cat. When you analyze him from the ground up, you sure appreciate the amount of bone that he has, the amount of foot size that he has. He's got that good, easy feeding look about him. Yeah, maybe if you want to call that one just a little bit quick, you can, but that is one massive steer that sure gets around the ring on a good set of feet and legs. I think that one's really sound. And where he's maybe beating his black cat in second, I think he's just a little better about his neck. I think he's a little tighter about his neck. I think he's a little longer about his neck, and that's what I changed about your steer. Just stretch him out just a little bit. He kind of has that planer. He doesn't have that real good tight throat latch about him. Maybe gets a little off in his chest, but from the shoulders on back. You like the heck out of that one. He's big bone, big back. He's got enough quarter to him. I think that's a good steer. I'd say that young lady's going to have fun with that thing all year round. This is a good steer coming next, and I don't want to take anything away from anybody down the line here. This is a real nice steer. And if you like them just sexy from the side, this one's it. I mean, it's not the biggest, stoutest boned one. He's good in his front end. You like that about him. Maybe you like him best about how he blends in his shoulder, especially right behind that shoulder blade into his rib cage. He probably does that as well as anything out here. He just needs to be a little bit more massive for me when we get behind him. Maybe carry it down into his twist a little bit better to compete with those other 2 steers. This Smoky steer coming next. This is a good steer in his own right. You appreciate his body type. You appreciate his spring of rib, his depth of body. He's maybe just a little plainer, if you will, as far as his muscle pattern. You'd like to maybe give him just a little bit more top when you compare him to some of those other ones. But a steer that's sure long fronted, you appreciate how tight neck he is. Sometimes he'll shoot you that appearance that he's maybe just a nickel straight in his front. As we had already talked about this young lady's typical appearing steer here, so I think she said it was a 3/4 semi. Bred and owned. I told her, I said, you better go to junior nationals or somewhere with that one, because I think that is one good Semitol steer. He just kind of gets, beat by some of these zoo bred ones that are tighter neck, maybe got just a little bit more eye appeal to them. But that's a steer you sure like the amount of top that he has, how thick he is over his top, how he carries it into his hip, and maybe more importantly, how much bone he has and how sound he is. He just needs to have just a little bit better eye appeal to compete with the rest of them. Let's give that young lady and the rest of the class a big round of applause on a good class from top to bottom.
Now entering the ring is Class 9, Cannon Bell, Carly Schulteis, Ava Priest, Austin Borer, Ava Priest, and Kaylin Julerip.
Welcome to Jerry Haig Motors in Hillsboro, your local Chevrolet dealer for over 50 years. I am Steve Haig, owner, along with my twin daughters, Mindy and Mandy. We operate our family-owned business. We take care of our customers like friends and family. If you need a new Chevrolet or pre-owned vehicle, service, parts, or body shop, think of Jerry Haig Motors in Hillsboro. Proudly supporting the youth of our community. Stop in today for a great deal. Trade-ins welcome, financing available to qualified buyers.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Our beliefs matter. They're reflected in our words and actions. At First State Bank, we believe in treating people well and have since 1884. Listening, caring, looking out for each other. It's what people deserve. It's what a real local bank does. While lots of things have changed over the years, our belief in you hasn't. First State Bank, built on belief.
ProGen's next-generation technology flooring is designed to stand up to the demands of modern life, and it's available now at the Winchester Carpet Outlet. Because ProGen is durable, waterproof, dimensionally stable, and easy to install, it can be used in any room, including rooms that are most prone to moisture and spills, like kitchens and baths. For top-quality flooring, service, and selection at prices that'll floor you, visit the Winchester Carpet Outlet, just off State Route 32 on Tri-County Road, just a few miles west of Winchester, Ohio, and online at winchestercarpetoutlet.com.
second place, and from class 3, we need Owen Warwick as second place also.
Real nice class here, and I think for me it's pretty obvious this red cap needs to win this class. And if you want to say, is he perfect in his front end? Hell, maybe not. You might want to stretch him out just a nickel in that front, in his neck, and make it just a little bit prettier in his front end. But man, you get behind this one, you've got one massive steer. And I mean, he is just packed full of meat and muscle. I Yes, if it were me and I was showing this one, I wouldn't care how fast the one in front of me walked. I would slow this one down just a little bit. He looks a little better if you slow him down. But that is one massive steer. You really appreciate him from flank to flank. You appreciate him from the ground up. That one's got a lot of bone about him. He's got a lot of mass about him. I really like the steer. He did a real nice job today. Let's give him a big round of applause on the nice class winner. Gets a little closer here between second and third, but I think this steer that ends up in second, I sure like a lot of things about this one. I'm not sure he's as long strided as that calf that wins the class. Maybe gets up or breaks just a little bit in those shoulders, maybe just a little open shoulder when you watch him walk, especially from the side. But he's another steer that's super massive. He's got a good look about him. He's maybe just got a little prettier look about him. I just don't think he carries it down into his lower 1/3 like that red calf that wins the class. Young man coming next, he's got himself a big massive steer. Gets a little bit piecey for me. He needs to be just a little better right here behind his shoulders. Maybe has just a little extra sheath about him. But one, when you get behind him, you're sure impressed with the amount of substance that that one has. Young man coming next. This one here is a nice steer from the side. You appreciate how he is from flank to flank. He gets out and moves, we'll call him adequate. He wants to throw those back legs, maybe just a nickel. Maybe needs to be just a little thicker. This gray steer, every once in a while, he'll shoot you a look. He's got a long front about him. You really like him from the side. When you get behind that one, you just get pretty disappointed. And, you know, they all can't show it the same day at the same time. That one's a little bit taller for me. I think that one needs to go to an earlier fair to compete, because that one just looks a little taller. Young lady that concludes the class, that's the lightest muscle calf of the class, so that's why she is where she is. But that young lady's done a nice job. Let's give her a big round of applause along with the rest of the class.
We're now going to show for our Champion County Board and Bred feeder calf. Coming out of Class 1, first went to Christian Cummings, bred by Cummings Cattle. Second in that class went to Jocelyn Rocky, bred by Rocky Family Cattle. Coming out of Class 2, first went to Ashton Simpson, bred by Kirk Forsyth. Second in that class went to Oakley Eagle, bred by Tim Perry Show Cattle. Coming out of Class 3, first place went to Kason Giordano, bred by Kason Giordano. Second in that class went to Owen Warwickis, bred by Hamilton Livestock. Coming out of Class 4, first went to Christian Cummings, bred by Cummings Cattle. Second went to Cameron Burkhardt, bred by Cameron Burkhardt. Coming out of class number 5, first went to Maya Pitts, bred by Hawk Family Farms. Second in that class went to Cameron Burkhardt, bred by Cameron Burkhardt. Coming out of class 6, first went to Ashton Bain, bred by Ashton Bain. Second in that class went to Mason Warnock, bred by Warnock Family Cattle. Coming out of class 7, first went to Braden Cummings, bred by Cummings Cattle. Second in that class went to Sydney Shelton, bred by Eddie Forsyth. And coming out of class 8, first went to Sawyer Blair, bred by Boulder Brook Cattle. Second in that class was a Casey Collins, bred by Van Zandt Cattle. And in class number 9, first went to Cannon Bell, bred by Kirk Forsyth. Second in that class went to Ava Priest, bred by Dwight Hamilton Show Cattle. Just a reminder, we will be taking a short break after the champion feeder calf drive for pictures.
We bring all of these county-born feeder calves out here. Let's give these exhibitors plus the ones back in the barn a big round of applause on a job well done. And, you know, when they called and asked if I'd do this show, of course I said yes, just because I know of the quality here in Highland County. And over the years, I've made a lot of friends. And, like I said earlier, we're all probably a little grayer now, but it's been a joy to be out here, and we're so late. It's all my fault. It's not the ring help. It's not the people lined them up. They've got them to me in a timely fashion. But those kids in showmanship, I could talk for hours about it, and it'll probably be one of those shows that you remember for a long time, just because the showmanship was so good, and that says a lot about your county and your showmanship and the competitiveness of it. And I'll apologize all night long for taking so long, but I think the kids deserved it. There's nothing worse than just to try to rush through it to meet a time deadline. These kids have worked on these calves for, some of them worked on them for a year, and I think they've done a tremendous job. And as we bring these feeders out here, there's going to be calves that aren't going to get used tonight that I think will be heard from in the future. And there's one on that far end that I think I'm maybe not going to use tonight. But that little red and white steer on that far end will be a day that calf you're going to hear from it. You're going to get your picture taken someday behind the backdrop. And that just shows how good the quality is here. I don't think I need to go through and talk them all again. I like those steers that balance up, that's got some meat and muscle to them, that are sound. They've got some look to them. Sure, they're not all going to end up at the same end point, so that there might be a little bit of variation as far as different types and sizes out here, but I think the one thing that rings true is that they're good cattle. Better yet, they're good people leading them. Let's give all those good people a big round of applause. I'll show you the two that I like the best.
Born and bred feeder calf goes to Sawyer Blair. He will be receiving a banner donated by Cummings Cattle, and the breeder will be receiving a banner donated by Highland County Cattlemen's Association. The Grand Champion feeder calf was bred by Boulder Brook Cattle. They will be receiving a banner donated by Cummings Cattle, and the reader will be receiving a banner donated by Highland County Cattlemen's Association. This will be the first call for the Class 1 of Marcus Sears, Gabriel Michael, Jacob Simmons, Haley Cornett, Katie Simmons, and Thomas Arnold.
Real estate is and always will be local business. Local agents know your local market. We know what local homes are selling for. We know the landscape. We live here. We work here. We know here. Max sells real estate.
Ethan Howard at Howard Ag is your local channel seed salesman. At Howard Seed, they use the Climate Field View platform. Climate Field View is an advanced tool for checking the health and performance of every field on your farm. Howard Ag provides you with crop protection, expert marketing information, and trait technology. Contact Ethan Howard at Howard Ag and Channel Seed today, 513-255-3745. That's 513-255-3745.
Dealing with a backed up toilet, a slow draining sink, or standing water in your shower? Let the experts at Zoom Drain handle all your drain and sewer needs. Their team of highly trained specialists have all the equipment to get your wastewater lines flowing their best, whether it's an emergency or planned maintenance. Don't let a clogged drain or sewer ruin your day. Give Alex with Zoom Drain a call at 513-301-2815 to schedule your service today. Southern Ohio Retro Foam installs open and closed cell foam insulation for existing and new construction homes, pole barns, and more. Retro Foam injected foam wall insulation will save you money on your energy bills, decrease noise, and add comfort by sealing even the smallest of openings in your walls, crawl space, or attic, whether you have metal, masonry, or frame construction. Southern Ohio Retro Foam is locally owned and operated and is located in Hillsboro, Ohio. Call Wes at 937-402-0536 to request a free quote. Visit southernohioretrofoam.com for more information.
Sherwin Auto and Camper Sales in Hillsboro is the area's biggest name in outdoor adventures. Check out their new line of e-bikes and accessories and cruise around in style. And if you need a place to store your new e-bike, Sherwood also offers Amish-made Wheat Ridge barns. 2024 camping trailer models are priced too low to advertise, and 2023 models are clearance priced. Coachman Clipper Teardrop campers are priced below cost with no reasonable offer refused. Find it all and begin your outdoor adventure at Sherwood Auto and Camper Sales in Hillsboro.
Well, come on, and let us show you what we got. Come on, let us help you save a lot. Rips Farm Center is your dependable farming supplier, proudly serving Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia farmers with the finest grains and feeds for your livestock. We also provide the fertilizers and chemicals to enhance your yield, and we're your source for R&R livestock equipment, offering hydraulic chutes, portable corrals, scales, and more. Rips Farm Center, 214 Lions Club Road in Tollsboro, Kentucky. Call 606-798-FARM.
Healthy Halloween Senior Expo at the Highland County Senior Citizen Center is Tuesday, October 1st, with over 50 businesses from Highland, Adams, and surrounding counties providing valuable information and tons of free giveaways. Enjoy a live band, a billiards tournament, and free bingo too. Enter the costume contest. Help the Senior Center's kitchen and bring in the most dish soap and you could win big. Remember, the event is free to attend, but bring some extra cash for lunch and other raffles. Great information for you or a loved one. Sign up for all the free prizes. See you at the expo.
Welcome to Jerry Haig Motors in Hillsboro, your local Chevrolet dealer for over 50 years. I am Steve Haig, owner, along with my twin daughters, Mindy and Mandy. We operate our family-owned business. We take care of our customers like friends and family. If you need a new Chevrolet or pre-owned vehicle, service, parts, or body shop, think of Jerry Haig Motors in Hillsboro. Proudly supporting the youth of our community. Stop in today for a great deal. Trade-ins welcome, financing available to qualified buyers.
Biggie. He must be going for Brady again. I mean, you can walk through it. And then some of the other nitpicks that he did, that to me, that was a little too big. It's very heavy, but personally, or tell it to him when he's talking to them, not exploit it to the whole crowd. Yeah. Well, I think they actually, yes, they do that.
The 4-H tomorrow, showmanship's Thursday.
But you're splitting the ring and they're doing good shows while they're in the same kind of music show. Usually split between the dairy and open. Oh yeah, you're right. But
6 or 7 dairy heifers. Heck no.
so they should have like.
I think dairy heifers start at 8:30.
But there's a lot of sheep and there's a lot of goats. And what
69 sheep, I think it is.
but I mean, but what they don't think about is so the goat guys don't have to wait on the sheep guy to talk. It's like it running pig shows. Like, this guy's gonna have to wait on that guy to shut up and vice versa. That's gonna drag it out. I'm gonna find out from him. That's to my understanding. Where do you think it takes? Here's my first one. About what?
Lauren and Carter Boyd. Now entering the ring is Class 1, Gabriel Michael, Jacob Simmons, Haley Cornett, Katie Simmons, and Thomas Arnold. Tonight at the County Born and Bred Fast Tier Show, each exhibitor will receive a $50 donation from the Highland County Cattlemen's Association in recognition of your ongoing support for the Highland County beef industry. We deeply appreciate your dedication and commitment to this vital part of our community. Our judge today is Tim Schwab. He is a 1987 graduate of OSU ATI where he was on the judging team. He is the current park manager of Cost Land and Livestock in Batesville, Indiana. They have about 200 cows and background about 500 steers per year. They have a club calf sales and a bred heifer and cow sale every year. Through these sales, they have had champion steer and heifer honors at the North American, American Royal, National Western, Ohio AGR and AGS shows, Hoosier Beef Congress, North Carolina State Fair, Wyoming State Fair, California State Fair, and many local county fairs. He is also proud of breeding and raising the AI promotional sire, Hi-Ho Silver. He was a featured farm family at the 2018 Indiana State Fair. Tim was the president of Indiana Beef Cattle Association in 2017. He has also held several leadership positions in the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Let's give our judge today a big round of applause.
Nice way to start off our Fat Steer show, and I think this one that comes to the top does so pretty handily. And I guess when you get your hands on him, it's a no-doubt. That guy's got a nice cover over his ribs. When you get up and feel on his loin, he's got a nice shelf to that loin. He's really a wide-based kind of calf, super amount of bone. For as stout as that one is, he sure gets and goes and reaches off of both ends. There's a lot you gotta like about that calf. This calf coming second, probably in my opinion, falls in line. Obviously next, I don't know if he was the next heaviest in the class. I don't think he was, but guess when you analyze this one head on, you appreciate the amount of condition he has through his brisket. He's putting fat on in his tail head. That one there handles awful nice. And he's got that good show steer look about him, if you will. He's got the extra bone. He's a little cleaner fronted than some of these other steers. This steer right here just needs a few more days on feed. I guess in my opinion, a calf that profiles up really nice, maybe just needs to be fed a little bit harder, but a calf that you can tell why this young man picked him as a feeder, or last year or whenever he did, he's really a good top calf that's square and level about his hooks and pins and gets around the ring on a good set of feet and legs. Maybe if we could talk these other two as a pair, they're a little more commercial oriented, if you will. The black baldy, when you get your hands on that one, it's got just a little bit more cover than his name here, the red one, and a steer that you sure appreciate his length of spine, his length of hip. Sure, you'd like to ease him up just a little bit on his feet and legs. He kind of is a little bit short-strided. The red steer that includes the class is kind of the lightest muscle calf in the class. He's got some condition on him. I don't think he's quite ready to go to the processing facility, but a calf that maybe gets up in his top a little bit too much for me, but two nice calves to conclude that class. Let's give both those people plus the rest of the class a big round of applause.
This is the second call for Class 2.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Our beliefs matter. They're reflected in our words and actions. At First State Bank, we believe in treating people well and have since 1884. Listening, caring, looking out for each other. It's what people deserve. It's what a real local bank does. While lots of things have changed over the years, our belief in you hasn't. First State Bank, built on belief.
It's a nice class from top to bottom, and when you get to analyzing them and get your hands on them, I guess in my opinion, it maybe becomes a little more clear which ones need to surface to the top. I guess for me today, this calf, you gotta like a lot about it. Is he perfect? No, probably not. But golly, you get behind that one, and you talk about one that is just massive top, massive hip, and carries it down into his lower 1/3. And when you watch that one walking on his feet and legs, and man, the earth ought to shake as stout as that one is from the ground up. I like a lot of things about that one, and for being so thick and so massive and heavy bone, that one can still get out and move. If you want to get nitpicky and change that one just a little bit, you'd cool him up just a little bit in that neck, but that's being really critical, but a really nice kind of steer. This young man right here, he brings us a nice steer. I guess for me today, you appreciate his depth of body. You appreciate how he gets around the ring. When you get your hands on that one, you're sure not disappointed. That young man's done a really nice job feeding that one. I guess for me, I just, when I get behind that one, he's just not near as massive as that other steer. And I guess that's where I fault that one just a little bit, and I think that's why he falls into second. But that's a pretty nice kind of steer to be second in class. Just not quite as stout from the ground up, not just quite as stout from the front to the rear. This calf right here, it's probably a little bit stouter than that calf that's already left the ring. I guess for me today, when I get my hands on this calf, I just wish he had more condition over his ribs and into his pin and down into his chest. I think that one could go back on feed for a few days. He's weighing like 1280. I just like to see maybe with 100 more pounds. I think that's a good calf. That's really stout, holds it top and holds it together really well. Just lacking just a little bit of condition. This calf right here, if you want to say he has more condition than that red calf, I probably wouldn't argue that. Just gets a little plainer for me. Maybe just a little finer about his bone work. When you compare him to that red steer, a nice, easy-doing steer that's sure going to grade. As is that last calf. That calf's got plenty of condition on him to go on and grade. He just wants to buck over in that front. When I put on my commercial beating hat, ones like that just can't stand up on our concrete. So that's a nice calf. That young lady's done a nice job feeding that one. Just wish he was a little more sound to move up the line. Nice class from top to bottom. Let's give them all a big round of applause.
We are now showing for your Grand Champion County Board of Bred market steer. Coming out of Class 1, we have Thomas Arnold, bred by Jeff and Renee Perry. Second in that class was Haley Cornett, bred by Haley Cornett. Coming out of class number 2, first place went to Blake Osborne, bred by Cumming and Osborne Cattle. Second place in that class went to Carter Boyd.
we bring these market steers out here, even though we haven't had a lot of numbers, I think the quality's been real good from top to bottom in this part of the show. Let's give all the county-born market exhibitors a big round of applause. And I can't say it enough that I've enjoyed my time here, and part of that reason is everybody putting on the show, and especially everybody here in the back getting them lined up, and the ladies at the table. They make it look easy, or make it look easy, and I think we should give them all a big round of applause before we leave here today on a job well done. And this market steer thing gets, maybe in my head gets a little easier. I think we've got two that kind of come to the top pretty well. They've got that good look about them. I guess when you get your hands on them, both those steers have got enough cover on them to go on a grade, and I sure appreciate those things about them. Once again, I deeply apologize for taking so long in showmanship, but I'm telling you, your kids are worth it here. I've been most impressed, and probably haven't been called sir near as many times in one day as I did today, and I sure do appreciate all the respect I got from the young kids. My hat's off to them. They do a fantastic job in showmanship, and this is probably going to be one of those shows that I talk about showmanship for shows to come, just how good it was. I've been really impressed with your kids. Let's give all these, plus everybody back in the barn, one more round of applause, and I'll show you the two that I like the best.
Grand Champion County Born and Bred Market Steer goes to Blake Osborne, bred by Cummings and Osborne. He will be receiving a director's chair sponsored by Shelton Cattle. Your reserve Champion County Born and Bred Market Steer goes to Carter Boyd. He will be receiving a director's chair sponsored by Forsyth Cattle. The breeders will also receive banners sponsored by the Highland County Cattlemen's Association.